I feel like my hair is like the weird mutant love child between Robert Smith and a lion.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Aubrey.
And you are watching Booville TV. Hello, my ghouls and ghoulinas, spooky and creepy kids everywhere. Welcome back to the crypt and another review from the Something Weird people. You're probably going to see a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
This DVD spooktacular set is amazeballs. And by amazeballs, I mean if you're into the crazy, wacky world that Something Weird puts together, this is the DVD for you. Monsters Crash the Pajama Party Spook Show Spectacular. And I love the artwork on this, as you saw at the beginning of this. It is very reminiscent of the 1970s, 60s, and 50s drive-in spook shows. The playbill, it almost looks exactly like it. You know, prepare to be scared. Hypnoscope conditions your nerves and gives you courage to face the terror and sudden shock you will experience. Will scare the yell out of you. And a lot of other play on words. When you get the DVD from Something Weird or wherever you order this, you're going to see that it's chock full on the back with all kinds of extras. And indeed, part of the fun of this DVD is finding all of the weird Easter eggs that are hidden in it. Well, we here in the crypt have done all of the work for you, so at the end of this review, there's actually going to be a walkthrough that I'll do with you to show you where all of this wonderful stuff is and what to click on and where to go. But the main part of the DVD is a wonderful little film, Monsters Crash the Pajama Party.
And when we say little, we mean little.
It's a very fun, campy film.
Is it even considered a film because of the length of it, or is it more of a...
No, I mean, I would definitely call it a film.
Or a short film would be more like it. It's nowhere near movie length whatsoever.
No, it's a 1965 featurette.
Yeah.
So this would be something that would play at a drive-in in between some of the main shows. And if you never got to experience a spook show, which I remember one, and that shows you it was already on the way out when I was a kid. But what they would do is that they would rig parts of the movie. You know, people thought Rocky Horror did it first with audience participation, but they would actually have traveling spook shows that would set up at drive-ins. And they would have a guy dressed up like the Mad Doctor, and we'll get into that. But the Mad Doctor, and the one scene in the movie where he goes literally into the camera frame, there would be a blackout, and then you would see the Mad Doctor live on stage at the drive-in pulling a girl that looks exactly like the chick in the film. And people were, how the hell did they do that? And it was really simple shit. Like I said, the main part of the DVD is Monsters Crash the Pajama Party, which the plot line is a couple of kids want to go to a creepy old house and throw a pajama party, but unknown to them, in the basement there's a laboratory of the Mad Doctor, who actually has Mad Doctor, in case you didn't know who he was, written on his lab coat. And he's doing all kinds of experiments. And when they say monsters, they don't mean so much as Dracula, Wolfman, Invisible Man, creature. We're talking about
Gorilla?
gorillas.
A gorilla, there was a wolfman. You see him for like a few seconds and his pants falls down. But
And the weird Japanese Mighty Morphin Power Rangers chick in the laboratory with him.
yeah, we don't know what she's supposed to be.
It's kooky, it's wild, it's wacky, it's about 25 minutes long.
Yeah.
And right when you honestly think, did they cut part of this movie out? Because
I was confused for a good while, and I was dead sure that some part of this film just got lost somewhere because it skips just towards the end, and you're like, what happened? How did they get here? Who are these people? What's going on? But no, that's what it's supposed to be.
And it's wonderful.
It's fun.
This DVD also, if you didn't know how to put on a spook show, this DVD in one of the Easter eggs gives you step-by-step instructions, and it's actually a facsimile copy of a how to put on a spook show with how to build the coffin and how to do all this. I mean, the Easter eggs alone are great. But not only that, but wait, there's more.
Oh, so much more.
When you open up the DVD, this is our little cheat sheet. When you open up the DVD, there's a wonderful booklet that comes with it, and it's all about the old spook shows. And it even has, the secrets of the spook show. And it talks about, how they would put them on. It's got kooky photos.
See.
The Wolfman.
See, he didn't show me this when we watched this.
Oh, you didn't see all the goodies?
Oh, no, he hid this stuff from me. See.
And you get like a cute little Drac with the thing.
I didn't know it came with 3D glasses.
Yes. It comes with not one, but 2 sets of 3D glasses. And the 3D glasses are specifically for one of the Easter eggs called Asylum of the Insane. Which, it's kind of hard. You can't really, you've got to kind of, almost like opera glasses. Which, incidentally, these can also help you translate Mormon tablets. If you didn't know. So, but you put them on and you watch Asylum of the Insane, which is a clip of children in really odd 70s horror masks stabbing at you with axes and other instruments. And the 3D effect on this is, well,
what you'd expect.
It's kind of there, but I mean, it's not gonna, there's a hatchet in my face, holy shit, fuck, I'm gonna die. But just for the extras that this thing comes with, the little booklet alone, I sat on the toilet and read this, and it's got some really, really good information.
He does lots of things on the toilet.
About the old spook shows. It comes with, there's a featurette of a ride-through from a 1960s haunted house at a carnival, full, including a woman screaming in the background to accentuate points. It comes with a 3-second clip of a skeleton head talking to you. It comes with another feature film that's actually longer than the Monsters Crash the Pajama Party.
And the actual film is hidden.
Yes.
You have to actually try to find it and watch it.
And it's really good. It's the 1960 classic, and actually, I'll look here because I had this 1960. See, I was close. 1960 film starring Richard Carlson called The Tormented, which is actually a really good movie. If you've never seen The Tormented, it's actually in the public domain. So that's probably one of the reasons that Something Weird threw this onto the video, because they fucking could. And
I didn't get to watch it. I don't know.
the copyrights. It's a really good film about a man who's cheating on his fiancée, sort of. Well, it's not really. It doesn't really say. This chick Vi comes to see him, and it's on this little island. There's a lighthouse. He takes her up. She winds up dying and then haunting him. There's a creepy little girl who makes really odd comments about wanting to be his wife, and
What?
she's the little sister of the protagonist's actual fiance. There's a beatnik boatman who shows up, who tries to blackmail the protagonist. And I can't tell you how many times. If you hear, "No, I'm hip, Dad. I'm hip. I dig it," one more time in this movie, you will want to slit your throat with the fucking box. Because it's taken, beatnik hipster is taken way out of proportion, but they didn't do the stereotype as far as the physical. They didn't do the little goatee and the beret and the turtleneck. Now, he's wearing a captain's hat, but he's a beatnik. And a very, very stereotypical 1960s hipster beatnik. There are clips from the 20s, 40s, and 60s set to the backdrop of some really good psychobilly and rockabilly bands, or horror punk kind of stuff. Not so much horror punk, but it's more like horrorbilly type music.
There are also recordings, and I think most of those are from the 40s, of, horror and spooky themed music, like swing and stuff like that throughout there.
Oh, yeah.
There's one the first one I think is a group of 3 girls harmonizing to some really...
It's the Boogie Woogie Boogeyman.
Yeah.
The Boogie Woogie Boogeyman is not even mentioned on the back. There's also a clip of a female, and the only reason you know she's a female is because of the high heels, a female dancing skeleton marionette to some really swing music.
And stuff like, Them Bones. And
yeah.
other great songs that are just kind of in there.
Altogether, you've got... The other thing that I absolutely love on the main menu, if you click on, and like I said, when we go through the how-to of where to get to these Easter eggs, there is a 45-minute reel of spook show playbills set to the music of actual radio ads for the spook shows. And for the bang for the buck, the Monsters Crash the Pajama Party Spook Show Spectacular is one of the best DVD compilations that Something Weird has put together in the vein of classic horror, schlocky, spooky. I mean, this really gives you the feel of the spook show. There are 2 commentaries from the old masters of the spook show. When you click on them, you actually see the film Monsters Crash the Pajama Party, but you hear them speaking about their time in the spook shows. This is actually something that would be really fun to watch with the kids. Mm-hmm. If you're concerned about profanity, you might not want to watch the commentary with them, but the rest of it is good, clean, wholesome, spooky fun for the family. Yeah. If you're concerned about, profanity or gratuitous violence, which I know some of you are. We here in the crypt, the little goblins that we have, we don't shelter them from things. But you might not feel comfortable with, certain language, and you're not going to find that on this the rest of the features.
No, and not only is it, packed full of fun little Easter eggs and clips and shorts and music and stuff like that. Finding them, it's the whole process of finding them is a game in itself, and you can make a game out of it. It's almost like one of those hidden object kind of things.
And some of them are a pain in the ass.
Yeah, some of them are a real pain to actually click on. But if you watched our last review about Psyched by the 4D Witch, there is a particular little Easter egg in this set.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And it makes me wonder who borrowed from whom, because one of the little clips are the masks that are in Psyched by the 4D Witch. They're really cheap Halloween masks with the flashlight behind them. They're just floating around.
Grabbing at you.
Yeah, and you know, it's not very long, but they put that in there, and I wonder if they borrowed it from the Psyched by the 40 Witch, or if Psyched by the 40 Witch, whoever did that, borrowed that clip or scene from whatever that's originally from.
Speaking about weird shit Easter eggs, and we don't know what it's from, there is an Easter egg on here that is a clip of a black and white film of a man walking through what looks like ectoplasm or spider webs.
It's supposed to be spider web, but it's really bad.
And then there's a woman who, from the neck down, kind of is hot, and there's no deformity, but from the neck up, there's this weird deformed face, and she grabs at the man, and then he grabs at her, and then there's a skeleton, and then he grabs and blood comes out, but it looks like chocolate syrup. Thank you, Alfred Hitchcock. And then it stops. And you're left wondering, what the fuck is this from?
And the thing with the spiderweb part of it doesn't actually... I didn't know it was spiderweb until,
Me neither.
you know, we actually looked into some of the little things on there.
I thought it was ectoplasm or something like that.
It was some... It looks like really bad editing of light trails or something like that, but apparently it's supposed to be spiderweb.
Which, much like your delicious, beautiful hair,
Oh.
if it was wispy and white,
Yeah.
and I was walking through it, and there was a woman that was grabbing at me, and
He wants to walk through my hair and women to grab at him while he does so.
Absolutely with grotesque faces,
And
whilst listening to the really good rockabilly, horrorbilly bands that are in one of the clips. So again, Monsters Crash the Pajama Party Spook Show Spectacular. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it on Something Weird. Get it, if for nothing more than to add it to your kooky collection of horror goodness. We will be doing more reviews of things that Something Weird puts out, because as we said in the Psyched by the 40 Witch review video, the gentleman who founded the Something Weird video has passed away, and we are buying as much of their catalog as possible.
Just in case they disappear forever.
Yeah, and probably going to burn some of these to a hard drive somewhere and save them, just so that we can preserve the copies of the DVDs.
For as short as Monsters Crash the Pajama Party is...
Okay, yeah, let's talk about just that film alone.
Alone, it's confusing until someone actually explains it to you. No, that's it. There's nothing more, nothing else. Nothing was cut out of it. That's it.
There you go, kids. So, we'll do two different sets of ratings, because you really do have to with this box set.
Mm-hmm.
And as we all know, in the crypt, she's slowly getting there, guys. Slowly getting there. But I am the 100% fan of the classic, obscure, off-the-wall horror films.
I like shit. I like modern and I like shit.
And based solely off of the featurette Monsters Crash the Pajama Party skull rating. And why? Dare I ask why?
I liked it a lot. I liked it except for the fact that where it skips, it doesn't flow. There's no... It looks like something was cut out of it, and it's confusing.
Like Psyched by the 40 Witch.
If they had done it to where it flowed properly, to where it wasn't just all of a sudden jump, I think it would be a little bit better to have a little bit higher rating for me. I'm gonna have to give it... This is hard. For that alone, I'm gonna have to give it a... I hate going first. You always make me go first. I hate going first. You go first next time. I'd have to give it a 5 out of 10.
That's surprising.
I thought it was cute.
That's surprising. I didn't think you were going to go that high with it.
I thought it was super cute. I liked it. The downside was it got to a point where I was very confused, which was the end. Because all of a sudden it just jumped and then it was over.
Gorillas with placards and cue cards.
Yeah, but it was cute. It was campy. It was intentionally funny,
Absolutely.
and it was. It didn't take itself seriously by far. It knew what it was, and I thought it was very endearing.
Yes.
And so I give it a 5 out of 10. Once I realized that no, that's how it's supposed to be, it did help the score just slightly. Now, if there was no explanation for the jump cut to the end, I'd probably be a little more irritated. But you know, I've come to terms with the fact that no, that's just how it is.
For me, based solely on Monsters Crash the Pajama Party, I've got to give it an 8. And the reason I give it an 8 is for the exact same reasons that Aubrey gave it a 5. It is endearing. It is one of those things that when it comes to what we affectionately refer to in the crypt as the Halloween season, which is one of our, of course, favorite times and favorite seasons of the year. It's the time when Papa Samhain is, you know, out, the kids are getting excited for the coming of Papa Samhain on Halloween Eve, and the presents that your family will, you know, put together, and more about Papa Samhain as we get closer to the Halloween season. But it's one of those fun seasonal films that you can watch with the kids. It's not long. It will hold their interest, and it's something nice to play on a night, you know, before bed, and as you're preparing for the coming of Papa Samhain, and you're, you know, wrapping the presents that he gives everyone in the family, and it's a fun family film. It's also amazingly campy. It would give the 1966 Batman television series a serious run for its money when it comes to the campiness. So for that, an 8, just for the film, for me. And because, as Aubrey said, it doesn't take itself seriously. It knows exactly what it's doing. And it was made that way on purpose.
I think I gave it a significantly lower score primarily because of the fact that it didn't flow. The cut jumped towards it didn't flow, and that bothered me. And I think it would have gotten a higher score for me if it just flowed better, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if you hadn't have told me that's how it's supposed, I would have been irritated because I would have genuinely
thought there was missing
100% that some of this magical footage got lost somewhere over the years, and that would have really bummed me out. But
yeah. So okay, we've done the just Monsters Crash the Pajama Party. Mm-hmm. As a whole, looking at it, the whole deal, your skull rating on this one?
100 out of 10. This is so fabulous. It's fun just to find the little clips and various things hidden, and then once you actually find them, there's so much of it. It's just hours of oodles of fun. And
I want to say the whole thing is 3 hours total. Like,
yeah.
if you added up all of the footage together, you've got 3 hours of fun.
Yeah, I love this. I want to say my favorite little bit in this is the videos of like the 1940s Halloween themed horror songs that are just kind of scattered throughout, and
the packaging rocks.
The packaging is pretty fun.
So 10?
Yeah, Jillian.
All right. Yeah, it's going to be for me too. It's a 10 plus. The packaging alone, when you open this, it's just, I mean, it looks cool. The DVD looks cool. It comes with the booklet. It comes with the 3D glasses. It comes with all of the Easter eggs. It comes with a great commentary for adults to sit and watch about the old spook shows. I cannot speak highly about this box set, this DVD set, or DVD. They really put it all together.
They went above and beyond and far more worth than the money you paid for it. What was your favorite little Easter egg in there?
Oh God, there's so many of them. Besides the film The Tormented, which was really, really good.
Like I said, my favorite was like the 1940s videos.
I like
music.
those.
But I love music, and I love the 1940s, and anything that Swing or Andrew's Sisters just gets my juices going. So.
I love that, and that I guess I'd have to say that's like my second favorite Easter egg. But my first favorite Easter egg, because I'm such a connoisseur of the good old days of horror, is on the main menu.
The playbills with
with the audio radio
that's
spots.
Pretty high up there for me too. I would say that is equal for me with like the 1940s music.
And you can sit, if you're like us, if you're cooking dinner one night,
you sit and listen.
Just sit and listen to the radio spots, because they're great, and they were wonderful bits of advertisement to get people into the drive-ins. Oh, crap. Speaking of weird things on here that I completely forgot about, one of the really hidden Easter eggs on here is like a 30-second commercial spot about how cable TV is evil.
Oh, yeah.
I almost forgot about that. And
it was for some election, or for some voting to vote against something.
To vote against pay TV.
Yeah.
The other one that we forgot to talk about was the not Are You Afraid of the Dark, but it was something like Don't Be Afraid, or it was a public service announcements to little kids about not being afraid of the dark. And that was really fun. But the review's going a little bit long, and I'm sorry for that, but there's just so much crammed in this. So Monsters Crash the Pajama Party, from both of us, it's a 10 plus.
Yes.
Go out,
definitely.
Get a copy of this, somethingweird.com or on Amazon. I would say Something Weird and pay full price for this just to support them. But if you're cheap like me, you'd go on Amazon and get it for $3. But so for those of us that enjoy the creepies, that enjoy the fun spooks, the silly spooks, that is the DVD compilation for you. And speaking of compilations of things, you've noticed maybe a little bit different decor in the crypt. We are not by any means a high production value. This is put together by Aubrey and I literally on less than a shoestring budget.
We use a flip camera.
Yeah. And we thought about doing something better and making it more, but it takes away from the whole schlockiness of what we're doing here.
I mean, eventually we'll probably like have something slightly more professional, maybe.
Slightly like a budget?
Yeah. Eventually, maybe, but
right now this serves. So, as you can see, we
have bats on the walls now, and my hair is bigger this time.
Well, the bigger the hair, the closer to Satan you are, or
yes.
Pazuzu, so.
We had just enough budget for hairspray, and you can see where it went.
Yeah.
I shaved a bunch of tribbles, and I made a hat.
Yeah. So, on behalf of those of us here in the crypt, Monsters Crash the Pajama Party, you gotta go get it.
Yes.
Like I said, at the end of this, we'll do a walkthrough of pictures of the screens and where to click on things and sort of what you're going to find. But and this is running way too long, but on behalf of all of us, I'm Sean.
I'm Aubrey.
And you've just been watching another spooky installment of Booville TV. I'll edit this part out. All right, spooky kids, ghouls and ghoulinas. If you look here at the main menu, you're going to see a couple of things. If you click on the bat, you're going to find a little short clip of a gorilla. Ooh, scary. If you move further to the owl, you're actually going to see the Mad Doctor and the main attraction itself, Monsters Crash the Pajama Party. The middle tombstone, you're actually going to see the slideshow that I talked about of the playbills and the radio features. The tiny little stone is going to take you to the Spook Show scare manuals, and you literally will flip through that and read how to put on a spook show. When you click to the left of the bottom of the screen, it's going to take you to a haunted house motif. Playing around with this is going to make you insane, because unless you know what you're doing, you're not going to find anything. From the moment that it moves to the haunted house screen, click, and you'll see a lightning bolt that shows up. The lightning bolt is going to take you to the spot that we talked about cable is bad. If you click on the bat, it's going to show you the wonderful 3D feature, so make sure you get your 3D glasses out, and it's going to show you the Asylum of the Insane. When you click on the skull, it's going to show you the Don't Be Afraid feature that we talked about, the PSA from the 60s. The cat is going to take you to the musical shorts that Aubrey talked about from the 30s and 40s. If you move to the crypt, which will be to the next bottom left corner of the main screen of the haunted house, it's going to take you into the third and final main menu, which is the crypt menu. If you click on the overturned chair, you're going to see a woman's head talking, and the woman's head is actually from the feature The Tormented. If you click on the hanged man's head, it's going to take you to the amateur things that we talked about, like from the 40s. If you click on the bat, it's going to take you to the feature film The Tormented. If you click on the corpse's head, it's going to take you through the ride-through that we talked about the 1960s haunted house. And that's really, really cool, with the woman screaming. If you click on the right eye of the portrait in the far right-hand side of your screen, it's going to take you to another wonderful little short that we didn't mention in the main review about a man taking his girlfriend to the drive-in and him going to the concession stand to purchase snacks, having bowel issues and turning into a werewolf. If you click on the candle, which you've got to click to the far left-hand side and click because it doesn't look like there's anything there, there is another set of promotions. And finally, if you click to the skeleton, you're going to get a weird clip of a little skeleton head talking to you. And the jack-o'-lantern is going to show you another really weird clip that, well, you'll see. Enjoy, and until next time, you've been watching Booville TV.